How's it going, you outlaw legends? I'm Red Nitrate, your resident Red Dead addict, and welcome to my RDR2 Bridge Glitch to Mexico video. So this is a really fun glitch that will enable you to explore the out-of-bounds areas in the map, such as Mexico. It's a glitch that's been around for a while, it's a lot of fun, but I thought it might be cool to show off that it's still available and working in 2021, both on console, PC, online, and here in story mode where I am now. So what you're going to need is a throwable weapon. This can be throwing knives, tomahawks, really any of the variants of those that you might have available. You can experiment with different weapons to see what works best. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is come to my exact location, map provided. And then you're going to want to come over to this fourth plank here. Now this is the plank you're going to want to experiment with. Now the exact location of where you put the throwing knife / tomahawk, it varies. You get different reactions from different spots. So it's really just best to experiment with it and see how you go. Now, place it in different spots. Wait until you get a really strong reaction. And then you can kind of go from there. And that's exactly what you're looking for. It will spaz out like that. And then you'll get all kinds of craziness happening. Even when you're not standing on the bridge itself. As you can see there. So maybe consider giving yourself a health tonic. Just sort of keep it, topped up, increase your chances of survival, and then just sort of keep running at the bridge until you get the response you want, which hopefully we'll get soon. Ow. So yeah, keep topping up with health potions. I just feel it might help your chance of survival. And then once you got the bridge going properly crazy, like you just saw then, and you hit it at the right angle, with a little bit of luck, you'll get this.
Is this trolley go to Tahiti?
Oh, God, my back. I guts the terminal lumbago. Truly, though, I can't believe I survived that. I died so many times with, less impact. From, less height and all of that. But yeah, look where we are, everyone. Look how far we got launched. Oh my God. We went from here all the way down here in New Austin. Yeah, it's where we were, just near McFarlane's Ranch, if you can believe it. My horse is still there, as you can see. So we've gone from there, past Blackwater, past Strawberry, and even up here, past Coulter. Yep, my most northern point in the map, and we've gone up past that. Now, the next dilemma I faced was how to get down from my current position and onto flat ground. Because as you can see, we're in a bit of a precarious spot. And in order to continue with the journey, I had to find a way off this big rock that I'm currently on. So as you'll see in the following footage, I tanked myself up with tonics and big game meat in the hope it might increase my chances of survival. Alright, well, amazingly, we survived. Now it's time to plot myself a course to Mexico. I'm going to be running the whole way, just to sort of get the full experience, but I'll be speeding up time for a lot of it, just to sort of streamline the process. Now, not so fast that, you won't be able to see things properly, but just sort of fast enough so it's not like a really drawn out, 3-hour video. So, hopefully be able to find a nice balance and you'll be able to kind of get the best of both worlds. I'll then be slowing it down and returning it to normal speed, though, to show off and commentate on cool landmarks and general oddities from being in these, out-of-bound areas, because there is a lot of really cool stuff. Yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the experience. So this is the first strange thing that I came across on my journey, and it's these weird, I don't know what you look like, trenches kind of in the snow here. I've never really seen at any other point on the legitimate part of the map. And they were really weird, they were pretty glitchy, if you accidentally fell in one, you'd start slipping and sliding, and it was really, really hard to get out of them. And so I sort of tried to avoid them at all costs, to be honest. But yeah, I just thought it was worth pointing out, because I found it particularly weird. Yeah, this is where I came across the first animals that I saw in the out-of-bound areas, and it was a really odd experience. They didn't really react to anything. You can see I shot into the air. Here I actually shoot it in the leg, and I mean, it acknowledges that it's been shot. It makes a noise and it kind of flinches, but it doesn't run away. They can be hurt, but they're completely locked in place. And we see this more and more with every animal that I come across, and it's particularly odd with predatory animals, which we'll see a bit later on. We've got our first predators, ladies and gentlemen. Couple of wolves. I must admit, I kind of freaked a little bit when I first heard them because I wasn't really sure what to expect, if they were going to be exactly the same as the other animals. But it turns out that they are. They really want to attack me, and like when you zoom in with the binoculars, you can actually see them sort of getting into like the attack stance, but they can't move. Like they can sort of like the animals can pivot on the spot, but they can't actually move from where they are. I later find out that if you walk past one of the predatory animals, like right in its path, they will still attack you. Like I get struck by a snake later because I literally like walk on top of the thing. But yeah, I found this really, really cool. I still didn't want to get too close to the wolves. And it was there, like, with what I found out with the snake and stuff, that was quite lucky because I did not want to die to a couple of wolves when I'd come this far. So we made it to dry land. Finally, the snow is fading away, and we got some greenery. And we've even got a black bear. And, yeah, pretty much the same thing. It wants to move, it wants to run away, because, yeah, that's what the black bears normally do, but it can't. It's stuck there. But yeah, I decided to stay until, wait around until it was morning, because the terrain textures were starting to get a bit weird, and I didn't want to risk falling through the map or anything odd happening. And yeah, that sort of happens a fair bit. The textures go from sort of being normal back to being a bit patchy and a bit weird, and I had been told that if you stray too far onto the really sort of glitchy terrain that you can, yeah, fall through the map. So I tried calling for my horse a little bit ago. I was mainly just curious to see if I could actually do it. So I went over to the cliff face and tried to call it over, but no dice. It wasn't going to come. I couldn't get close enough. Now, as we approach the New Austin part of the map, you can start to see the textural differences that I was talking about. The further that you stray from the legitimate, proper part of the map, the glitchier the textures get, and the higher the chance is that you're going to fall through the map. And so you can see, yeah, on the left, it's relatively normal, and on the right, it's really looking quite funky indeed. So I decided to stay on the left and minimize the risk of falling through the map, because screw that, I've put in too much effort by this point. Now coming up on one of my favourite parts of this little journey that I did, and it's at the very, very bottom of the San Luis River, sort of at the I guess you'd say the southern tip of the map. And this is one of my favourite locations in the game, but I've never actually gotten to see it from this perspective because normally you can't access it from this side. But, I mean, just look at that. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful weather, reflection off the water. Oh, gorgeous. As you've probably seen up until now, and you'll see even more as I progress down this path, this rocky terrain is all kinds of weird, and it loses, it's kind of lost a lot of its texture, and it becomes increasingly difficult to navigate, as you'll notice as I kind of have to backtrack a bit here and there to make my way across this really mountainous kind of region as we head into Mexico, which is coming up very, very soon. It's at this point that I kind of wondered if our journey was going to come to an abrupt end, because we'd pretty much gone off the entire map. There for a while, you probably saw before, like, you actually couldn't see the cursor, like the character's cursor on the map, and everything started getting really wonky. The textures started chopping and changing, as you can see here. We started getting this really gnarly dust storm, sandstorm, and I could barely see anything, especially as it starts to get darker. And I really, really did wonder if I was going to fall off the map and screw it all up. This sort of, yeah, continues for quite a while until we actually get into Mexico properly. But yeah, fortunately, we were able to keep going. But it was a bit hairy there for a while. coming up on one of the big Mexico landmarks. Always love this rock formation. It's just killer, isn't it? It's one of my favourite spots in Red Dead 1. And definitely one of the things I was hoping to come across when we glitched our way to Mexico in Red Dead 2. Because yeah, I've been wanting to see this map ever since Red Dead 2 was released. This is the first opportunity that I've gotten to do it. And two things I wanted to see was this rock formation and the fort. And luckily, we managed to come across both, and I just couldn't have been more excited. Big hype, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming up on the Mexico fort. I was really worried there for a while that we might not be able to find it. It did take a fair bit of looking around, but this was ultimately probably the thing I most wanted to see, along with that rock formation earlier. But I was just ecstatic to come across this. Definitely brought back some strong Red Dead Redemption 1 vibes. So I'll take you through like a little visual tour of the place, but this will be the final destination for the video. So yeah, I hope that you do enjoy it, and I'll say a quick little goodbye as we get close to finishing up. Man, that fort is insane. I'm so glad that I finally got an opportunity to explore it. I've been wanting to try and get to Mexico ever since Red Dead 2 was released. I mean, there have been copious methods that people have come up with over the last couple of years to get here, but I'd always get onto them just that little bit too late, and they'd get patched, and yeah, then you wouldn't be able to do it. So when I heard about this bridge glitch, which I've had so much fun with even just by itself, I thought, nah, we can do one better, and we can actually use this as our opportunity to get to Mexico and some of these other out of bound areas. And I'm so glad that I was able to record it and put this video together. It was a massive labor of love. I put more hours into this than any other video on the channel, so I really do truly hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button down below. And if you are new around here, definitely think about subscribing as well. And yeah, I will catch you all on the next installment of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm Red Nitrate. Stay legendary, everyone. Bye now.